I was 11 years old the first time I understood that something was wrong in my family. Not broken, not struggling, wrong. It happened on an ordinary evening. My mother was standing in the kitchen, counting money at the table. My younger brother sat beside her, laughing at something on his phone. I stood in the doorway holding a paper from school. I had won a regional academic competition. I felt nervous, but proud. "Mom," I said quietly, "my teacher asked if you could come to the ceremony." She didn't look up. "Not now." My brother showed her his screen. She smiled instantly. That was the first time my chest tightened. Not because she said no, but because she never even asked what the paper was about. From the outside, we looked like a normal family. A small house, a working mother, 2 children, no shouting, no police, no obvious chaos. But inside our home, love had rules. And those rules were never written for me. My brother was 3 years younger, yet everything revolved around him. If he cried, the world stopped. If I cried, I was told to be strong. "You're older," my mother always said. "You understand." That sentence followed me my entire childhood. Our father left when I was 7. No drama, no shouting. He packed his clothes into black bags and placed them by the door. I sat on the stairs and watched silently. He hugged my brother tightly, then turned to me and placed a hand on my shoulder. "Take care of your mother," he said. Then he left. That was the first time I was treated like an adult without any protection. After he left, money became tight. My mother became harder. The house became quieter. And somehow, I became invisible. I learned that asking for things was useless, so I stopped. Complaining only made things worse, so I stayed silent. Teachers called me mature. At home, maturity was expected, never appreciated. My grandmother was the only exception. She called every Sunday, asked about my grades, my feelings, my plans. When she visited, she hugged me longer than my brother. Once my mother joked, "She's always been sensitive." My grandmother replied seriously, "She's a child too." When I was 14, my grandmother got sick. Cancer. Aggressive. Hospital visits became normal. One day she held my hand and said, "No matter what happens, you'll be okay. I see strength in you." She died 6 months later. After the funeral, things changed quietly. Phone calls behind closed doors. Papers appearing and disappearing. When I asked questions, I was told to go to my room. One night I heard my name mentioned. "She doesn't need to be involved," my mother said. "She's strong." That word again. A few months later, a letter arrived from a lawyer's office. It wasn't addressed to me, but my name was inside. My grandmother had left a small house and some savings. Not much, but enough to change a future. The inheritance was being transferred to my brother. Only my brother. I confronted my mother. She didn't deny it. She sighed. "Your brother needs security," she said. "And I don't. You'll survive without it." In that moment, I realized something devastating. In my family, my survival was never the goal. It was just expected. From then on, I was no longer a daughter. I was a problem. Expenses involving me were questioned. Food became something I should figure out myself. My room felt temporary. At 16, I was working part-time after school. Not for pocket money, for survival. My brother got new clothes. I got excuses. One night my mother sat me down. "This family needs peace," she said calmly. "And you bring tension." I stared at her. "Are you telling me to leave?" She nodded. "You'll manage." 2 weeks later, I left with a backpack and no plan. As I walked out, I looked back. My mother didn't follow. My brother didn't say goodbye. The door closed, and my childhood ended. The first night, I didn't sleep. I sat on a friend's couch fully dressed, waiting for my phone to ring. It never did. That silence was louder than any argument. Weeks blurred together, couch to couch. I learned how to make myself small so I wouldn't be a burden. At school, no one knew. At night, I cried into pillows that weren't mine. Money became my obsession. I worked every shift I could get. Some days I ate once. Some days not at all. Winter came fast. One night, I slept in a car. Engine off. Windows fogged. I remember thinking, my family knows my name. They know where I am. And they still chose this. I reached out once. Just once. "I'm struggling," I wrote. "I don't need money. I just need somewhere to stay for a bit." The reply came hours later. "You made your choice. Learn responsibility." Something inside me broke, quietly, permanently. I stopped hoping. When hope left, fear followed. I quit school temporarily to work full-time. I learned how to fail quietly and recover alone. Pain became private. Years passed. Not dramatic, just hard. I didn't become successful overnight. I became consistent. And consistency, mixed with desperation, builds something powerful. I heard my brother moved into my grandmother's house. Renovated. Comfortable. I felt nothing. He was living the life meant for both of us. I was building my own. At 23, I had a small apartment and a steady income. One night I sat on the floor eating instant noodles and cried, not from sadness, but because no one could take this from me. Then my past knocked. I heard you're doing well, a message said. We should talk. We met in a cafe. My mother looked older, smaller. She smiled like nothing happened. I'm proud of you, she said. Then she mentioned my brother. He's struggling. We need your help. I asked one question. Where were you when I had nowhere to sleep? She looked down. I did what I thought was best. I went home and sat in the dark. I remembered her words years ago, you'll manage. She was right. I sent one message the next day. I can't help you. She didn't reply. Months later, I heard the house was sold. The money was gone. The safety net disappeared. My mother called again, this time with regret. I made mistakes, she said. I wish I had chosen differently. We met one last time. She apologized, not fully, not honestly, but enough to ease her conscience. She asked if we could be a family again. I thought of the child I once was. The one who waited. The one who stayed quiet so others could be comfortable. Going back wouldn't heal her. It would betray her again. I don't hate you, I said. But I can't pretend none of this happened. She cried. I didn't. My brother never contacted me. I felt no victory, only distance. People ask me how I survived without support. I never know how to answer. Survival wasn't a decision. It was the only option. What my family taught me was this: love that is conditional is not love. Strength without compassion becomes cruelty. Blood does not excuse betrayal. I didn't lose my family the day I left. I lost the illusion that they would ever choose me. And that loss gave me freedom. Some families raise you, others force you to raise yourself. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is walk away and never look back.